So we need to create a base class to encapsulate the implementation of INPC for our view models. To do that, I'm going to add a new class to the project called Bindable Base. And the main idea behind Bindable Base is to encapsulate the iNotify property change implementation and provide helper methods to the derived class so that they can easily trigger the appropriate notifications. So first of all, this class needs to implement INPC, and then it needs to expose a way for the derived classes to trigger that property change at the appropriate time, as well as encapsulating the check to make sure that the value of whatever property is being set is actually changing. To do that, we'll define two methods on this class, one called setProperty and one called onPropertyChanged. The setProperty method is intended to be called from the set block of each property and encapsulates the check to see if the value actually changed, and if so, it sets the member variable and triggers the event property changed. The other method, onPropertyChanged, is meant for places where maybe changing one property means you need to trigger an update on two properties, such as a computed property. So for that one, you can just pass in the property name and the event will be fired, since it's encapsulated down here at the base class level. Having that in place now, let's go see what it can do for us with our view models. So jumping back over to our main window view model, we can change the way we define our properties. We can't do just auto-implemented properties because we've got to have a set block to trigger that change, but we want that to be as compact as possible. Now I've got a code snippet here to make it really easy called propBB, and I'll trigger that. Now we can use bindable base as the property type, and our property name is still current view model. Now if we have our view model inherit from bindable base, you can see that that setProperty call resolves against it. So you can see the standard use of it is that you're going to pass in the backing member variable by ref into the setProperty method on the base class, and you'll pass in the value that's currently being set for that property. And now down in the bindable base implementation of setProperty, you can see how those members are coming in. The byRef member variable comes in the first argument, the value comes in the second, and then there's this third one that gets set with this nice feature of C#, which is the caller member name attribute. That attribute makes it so it can automatically pick off the name of the thing that called in here, which in our case, since the setProperty is being called from the property, is the property name itself, current view model. So you can see it allows you to have a nice compact property definition with the get and set blocks, but still do all the things you have to do for INPC of checking whether the value actually changed and firing the event. And as a nice consequence, it allows us to set the type of this property to be bindable base, assuming that all our view models will inherit from that. So now let me go add that base class to each of our view models. So next we'll hook up the commanding to actually drive the switching and navigation.